This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, now we start the English language service of Voice of Korea from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Now we present the Immortal Devotional Paean, Song of General Kim Il-sung. Now we present the Immortal Devotional Paean, Song of General Kim Il-sung. You are listening to VOK, Voice of Korea, News Now.
The respected Comrade Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, gave field guidance to the construction site of the third-stage project for 10,000 flats in the Hwasong area on March the 15th. He was accompanied by Park Tae-sung, President of the Cabinet of the DPRK, Lee Hee-yong and Kim Do-kung, Secretaries of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and other leading cadres of the party and the government, and those concerned at the designing organ. Kim Jong-un learned in detail about the whole third-stage project of housing construction in the Hwasong area nearing completion. He said, at a significant groundbreaking ceremony in the spring of 2021, when the flag of the headquarters of housing construction for 50,000 flats in the city of Pyongyang was given to commanding personnel in person as the starting point, a thrilling sound of blasting was rarely heard on this land every year, hastening the time of prosperity, and the capital city of Pyongyang was astir at the happy event of removal into new houses in April. This is Roosevelt strenuous efforts and the greatest pride in realizing the cherished desire of our party. When the first-stage construction project of the Hwasong area is finished, ours will be a country worthy of pride, which perfectly solves the housing problem in the capital area on a worldwide scale. The construction of the Hwasong area, which was carried on year after year, confirmed the development-oriented principles to be observed in marking a new turning point of capital city construction. The capital city has been facelifted along with new streets such as Railroad Street and Middle Scientist Street that were built every year in the past. But there was no example like the Hwasong area in which a city block with perfect function was gigantically built in a short span of time. This is of important experimental significance in elevating the new period of the prosperity of Pyongyang. Kim Jong-un indicated the issues arising in making clear changes and progress corresponding to the new era by meeting the demands of party policy and adopting urbanity of Korean style in the construction work, the epitome of national light and civilization. He says the Hwasong area has been turned into a center and standard capable of securing the political, economic, and cultural functions of the city administrative district and leading the existing areas in the capital circle to civilization and enlightenment, which is a meaningful development of enhancing the strategic function and position of the capital city. He especially emphasized the importance of the issue on making good scientific and prospective design of the city infrastructure and giving priority to and modernizing it, and the issue on decisively increasing the management level of the city and put forward crucial principles and plans which should serve as guidelines in implementing the capital city development policy. He stressed the key notion that our party working hard to realize the cherished desire which becomes more ardent in difficulties has come to witness another thrilling result along with the completion of the third-stage construction project in the Hwasong area, and gave a thanks to organize a grand inaugural ceremony just before the auspicious day of the sun, the greatest holiday of the nation, when the great leader Kim Il-sung was born.
More than 600 students in their final year at senior middle schools of North Pyongyang province volunteered to serve in the People's Army. Meetings were held in the regions concerned to congratulate the volunteers. Speakers handed out the flag of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to the students who reserved to serve in the army at the forefront for the posts. Those who took the floor expressed their determination to fully demonstrate the honor of school-based patriotic youth at every stage for national defense, keeping the trust and expectations of their villagers, parents, and brothers deep in their hearts. A spokesperson for the Foreign Ministry of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is the following press statement titled, G7, US-led nuclear criminal group has finally abandoned its anachronistic ambition for nuclear hegemony on Sunday. At the G7 Foreign Minister meeting recently held in Canada, the United States and other Western countries perpetrated a political provocation talking about China's dismantlement of nukes, while pulling up the DPRK over its exercise of the just and legitimate sovereign rights. The Foreign Ministry of the DPRK expresses a serious concern over the fact that the member states of G7, the chief criminals wrecking the global peace and security and the international nuclear non-proliferation system, are taking issue with the possession of the just and real powers of a sovereign state, just like the treaty party filing the shoot first, and clarifies that it will never tolerate any encroachment upon the sovereignty and international affairs of the DPRK. These countries which regard nuclear weapons as the main means for realizing the aggressive and hegemonic political and military purposes of the member states of the G7, and those countries which are held under the illegal and malicious Nuclear Proliferation Act under the pretext of nuclear sharing and offer of extended deterrence, are none other than the member states of the G7. It is an irrefutably well-known fact that the United States, the only state that used nuclear weapons in the world, is a typical nuclear threat entity that is bringing the crisis of nuclear conflict to the Korean Peninsula, Europe, and other parts of the world through unlimited nuclear arms build-up, nuclear war drills, and it is the biggest country of the world proliferating nuclear weapons. Britain, not content with its nuclear weapons, is openly attempting to introduce again the U.S. nukes into its country and taking the lead in transporting nuclear submarine technology to a non-nuclear weapon state, and the U.S. nukes have been deployed in Germany and Italy. Meanwhile, claiming offering of nuclear umbrella to Western European countries, France is fostering another concerning possibility of nuclear proliferation in the region, and Japan has been provided with the U.S. extended deterrence, including nuclear weapons, thus raising the relationship of security and cooperation with the United States to the one of nuclear alliance. All facts show that G7, which consists of the United States and its vassal allies, is indeed the root cause of the occurrence of global nuclear crisis and its aggravation, and that G7 should start the complete and irretrievable abandonment of nukes. G7, which has turned into a nuclear criminal group gravely threatening the global peace and security, should thoroughly abandon its anachronistic ambition for nuclear hegemony before talking about China's nuclearization and dismantlement of nukes. The DPRK's provision of a nuclear weapon state, which has been fixed permanently by the supreme lord of its state, will not change according to the recognition of anyone, and the DPRK's nuclear armed forces will exist forever as a powerful means of justice, which defends the sovereignty of the state, territorial integrity, and fundamental interests, prevents a war in the Korean Peninsula and Northeast Asia, and guarantees the strategic stability of the world. The DPRK will steadily update and strengthen its nuclear armed forces both in quality and quantity in response to the nuclear threat from outside, as stipulated in its constitution and other domestic laws, and reliably defend the peace and security of the state, the region, and the rest of the world as the responsible nuclear weapon state. Active efforts are made in all parts of the country to train technicians and skilled workers needed for the development of regional industry. South Korean province is taking realistic measures to boost the ability of technicians and skilled workers in a short span of time. South Hamgyong province is directing efforts to training talents who can compete with technical teams of light industry factories in the capital city. Different regions, including North Gyeongan and Jagong provinces and the city of Gyeongsang, also have mapped out detailed plans and methods for training technicians and skilled workers and are persistently putting them into practice. Fishing vessels at fishery stations in the west coastal area sailed out to fishing grounds. Fishery stations in South Hwanghae and North Pyongyang provinces, including the Bupho Offshore Farm and the Jongji Fishery Station, mapped out innovative plans for attaining the seafood production goals set by the Workers' Party of Korea, made full preparations for it, and held ceremonies of sailing out fishing. Officials and employees of the farms and stations and families in the regions concerned saw off the fishing vessels sailing out to fishing grounds for their first fishing this year. A delegation of the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, led by Vice Minister Andrei Rudenko, visited the Victoria's Fatherland Liberation War Museum on the 16th. The delegation members walked around a number of halls listening to an explanation about the immortal achievements made by the great leader Kim Il-sung, ever victorious iron-willed brilliant commander and gifted military strategist for war victory, and about the heroic struggle of the Korean people who honorably safeguarded the dignity and sovereignty of the country. They also called the town of the Jocheon area the National Gift Exhibition House and the cemetery of the fallen soldiers of the Soviet Army in Southern District. The fifth session of the 25th meeting of chairpersons of the headquarters of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, or Kenwood, was held at the Korean Hall in Tokyo of Japan on the 12th. Present there were Ho Jong-man, chairman of the Central Standing Committee of Cheongmyeon, and other senior officials and chairpersons of the headquarters of Cheongmyeon. Also on hand as observers were councillors and vice department directors of the Central Standing Committee of Cheongmyeon. The national anthem of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea was played. After her, first vice chairman of the Central Standing Committee of Cheongmyeon in his report stressed that the main direction of work for Cheongmyeon this year is to wage an offensive struggle for thoroughly implementing the important letter sent by the respected Marshal Kim Jong-un to the participants in the 25th Congress of Cheongmyeon, and thus provide a firm guarantee for implementing the decision of the Congress. Then speeches were made by chairpersons of the headquarters of Cheongmyeon. Chairman Ho Jong-man concluded the session. And that's the end of the news. This is the Voice of Korea.